So here we go.
Are they coming? Hello, hello everyone. Hi, can you hear me? Can you see me? Please just let us know. Hello everyone, welcome to today's NEOMA Business Schools webinar. Okay, someone else. More, we have more. And then I'm very glad to be here. My name is Xiaotong. Today I'm with my colleague Ming. We are both in charge of international recruitment at NEOMA, mainly for Asia. Ming, can you say hi?
Hi everyone, welcome. It's a bit early, but we can introduce us a little bit, and you can also, I guess, Xiaotong, you can mute them when they
I will mute everyone. Sorry. So yeah. Or just yeah. Okay. So everyone's mute. Everyone's mute. Okay, great. I'll just continue. Yeah.
More coming. That's
yeah. Good. Ming, can you just admit more coming students, please?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm sure if you are here today, that means you are already interested in our school and maybe already in a program. So today we will present the program NEOMA offers to international students and the latest news about different offers, intakes, and measures we take in this current pandemic situation. So now I see we have students, we have Rebecca, Pei Yu, April, great. Please just tell us in the chat box the country you are from. It's always nice to know people we are talking with. Yeah, and please, yeah, sorry. And please do not hesitate to mute yourself for now, and so that the webinar could function very well. And today we are also accompanied by two of our students, Tiffany from MSc Marketing French Excellence and John Wu from MSc International Luxury Management. They will share their experience at NEOMA. You can just say hi, John Wu and Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany.
I'm Jong.
Nice. Welcome today. It's very nice of you to share your experience today. And many of you have sent us already some questions. Ming and I will answer all of them during the webinar. And please feel free to let your question also in the chat box in the right part. We will answer that at the end if we haven't mentioned it during the webinar. And also, if you want to ask your question loudly, you can also raise your blue hand. It's just a button with a little hand, and we can activate your microphone.
Yeah.
Okay, we have many people already. So let's start. Ming, could you please just start the presentation?
With great pleasure. So hello everyone. I'm here today with my colleague Xiaotong, and very honored to have two of our current students, Jungwoo from Korea and Tiffany from Taiwan. So during the webinar, you can raise your questions by writing in the chat box, or you can raise your voice in the very end. We will save part of the Q&A. You can speak out loud your questions. And during today's presentation, we will talk about three parts. One is why choose France as your study destination, and then why choose NEOMA BS among many other French business schools, and then how to choose the right proper program according to your interest or future career plan. And Jungwoo and Tiffany will also share their valuable personal experience. So I guess we will start now. Okay. First, we will talk about France as a country, also a study destination. And I'd love to show you a very short video. Yeah, that's about the general picture of France and welcome to France. I guess each one, when you consider a study destination, you have your own preference or consideration. So in general, we are going to talk about facts from three parts, and then we'll invite Jungwoo and Tiffany to share their own consideration or opinions when they chose to come to France. So as you know, France is the second biggest European economy. It has great education, service, and quality. Something you may not know that now France is offering more and more programs in fully English. So you don't have to be fluent in French to come to study in France. And also there is a good reputation and maybe tradition to combine the theory knowledge with practice, with real business experience. So unlike in many other countries, when you go to study there, you have the biggest exposure or opportunity to combine your in-class study with the real business experience. So that's something we are very proud of. And then when we talk about the business environment, maybe you don't know that France is now the most attractive investment country in Europe. That's the survey released just last week. So for anyone who is going to maybe to develop their own business, a startup, as young entrepreneurs, or to learn the real French business practice and to maybe broaden their interest in whole Europe, France is a very good destiny for you to consider, not for study, but for business practice. So that's why the current French government is having very attractive policies, strategy to attract young investors or business startups in science, in medicine, in culture, or in environment. So in all aspects, you can find very attractive ways to come. And then when we talk about the life and the culture in France, I think that's the most attractive reason to choose to study in France as the very popular destination compared to other countries like the US, UK, Canada, Australia. So in France, I think our real students, they have their say and the real experience. When they study here, we have really affordable costs. So in terms of living, accommodation, daily life, transportation, everything, you enjoying the same discount as French citizens. So it's equal for everyone. We don't charge different tuition fees for different nationalities, which is really an advantage. And also you will have the, for example, incomes in terms of accommodation. I don't know if the two of you have already enjoyed it. You will benefit from the French government allowance each month to refund you part of your renting cost. And then also we offer very good student service to all international students. And when we talk about the culture, the life, the arts, you will see not only in Paris, but in every single city, big or small, you have all the attractive sightseeing spots, museums, cinemas, art galleries, so many for you to explore. And it's not only for France, but to the whole Europe. You can always explore with very easy transportation, etc. And so that's the three parts we'd like to mention. You already see some of the facts of the sightseeing locations in France. I guess I'd like to give the say to the two current students to share why they consider France and what's the real living and study experience when they arrive in France. Maybe they have some cliche they think before they come, and then maybe that can change. So here is your time to talk. Maybe Tiffany would like to start. I know you used to study in the US. That is a different environment or culture. And then you had decided to study in France. So how did you consider, or what's your own experience. Tiffany, can you?
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
now we hear
sorry,
you.
I was muted by the hosts, but
Sorry.
it's okay. I've lived in Taiwan for my first 9 years when I was born, but I moved to the United States for 15 years. So I currently reside there, but I'm in Taiwan at the moment. But I personally was drawn to France early on around middle school because one of my mom's friend was a photographer and he actually had the chance to visit France for a photography trip. And then I was really mesmerized and moved by the photos that he's taken. So that's why I actually had a really long-term goal of wanting to go to France. And I actually studied abroad through my university at University of Riverside to study abroad when I was still in my bachelor's year. And when I graduated 2-3 years ago, I wanted to go back to a country that I wasn't fully able to explore to the extent that I wanted. So I actually decided to apply to a school that is in France. And I originally went to classes in Paris, but this time I wanted to live somewhere else. So I actually picked Rouen for another reason. And also because the program that I chose was located in Rouen.
Yeah. So is there a very obvious difference of studying in the US and when you study in France with us?
Yeah, definitely. I believe that the class sizes is a big difference because in the United States, it's all about a huge lecture hall with like 500 students. But when it comes to living in France, the one that I experienced was a smaller class size, which is about 50 people. And that kind of made me have the opportunity to be closer with my classmates, and we were given a lot of group projects to work together with, and I think that really helped me a lot with developing my group work skills.
Yeah, so the diversity in the classroom and the way of teaching, maybe we can talk more later when we move to the programs. Thank you for your opinions. And Jungwook, you are from Korea. I know in Korea, maybe based on my understanding, the US is always a popular destination. And then how come you chose France to study?
Oh yeah, it's true. Like Korean students, like the final, I would say, like final destination of their careers and their studies is obviously most of them want to go to the America, but before I applied for NEOMA, I studied in Paris as an exchange student for a year, and then I came back to Paris to work a bit. So actually, I lived in Paris for 2 years and a half before I came to NEOMA. So I was a bit used to living in France, and also I got to know better about how the education system is going on in France and what we can learn from here. So when I first made up my mind to the master in NEOMA, actually I thought the most important thing was choosing a university with the master program I wanted to attend. And since I was young, I had always wanted to be in the fashion industry, especially in the luxury. And you know, the France is the France is famous for, and especially in Paris. So that's the most important factor which affected me to decide to come to France. And also while living in Paris for 2 years and a half, I knew that the France is kind of a good country for students, of course, because like you can ask the government for like financial aid, you know, and also it's really generous to the students to, like, for example, like as Min already said, like the museums and the cinemas and all the places. Of course, it depends on the which cities or which site you are going to, but the most of the services for students are given like for free, or you can get easily the reduced price. So it's really good. So yes.
I guess that's a very good reason. So you can benefit with all the discount as a student, and not only in France. And you can, maybe you already had experience or chances to explore other European countries. So that's a very good reason for us to consider France as a study destination. Then maybe we can move to NEOMA, about our school, to see why we should consider NEOMA, not other business school or universities. And here again, a very short video to show you the look of the campus if some they don't know it yet.
Sorry, Mina, I think the video, we don't hear the song.
Oh, you don't hear the sound?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
No.
then maybe we can skip, or yeah, I think if so, maybe you can find it on a website to show, yeah.
We can share the link after.
Sure. Okay, then let's move to the next. About NEOMA. This may be a bit bored, but I'm trying to give you a quick view or a brief about the school and the key facts. So you may know that we are a second oldest school in France with a very long history, almost the second oldest one. And we came from the previous Huan Business School and Hans Management School. Then we are very proud that we have the triple business accreditation and EMBA, ASSB, and EQUIS. And in the whole world, only about 100 education institutions have these triple accreditations. So
yeah, we always see only 1% of universities.
Like a crown, triple crown that we have. It's not just the honor, it's also like a monitor of our teaching and the program quality, because once you have the accreditation, it's not once for life. You have to renew it every 5 years. If your quality drops a bit, you may lose it. So we have to keep going to maintain a good quality for all the programs, not just one or two. And then you already know, maybe we have 3 campuses. For example, Tiffany, me, and Xiaotong, we are based in Huang, and Jungwook from his program in Hans. So those 2 cities are actually very close to Paris. You can go back and forth in one day by train, by bus within 1 hour. So it's also a good advantage for you to enjoy the Paris kind of lifestyle. And yeah, you also have chance to go to company visits or go for internship. Many benefits you can enjoy from the location. And then some key numbers of the, well, here you see some pictures of Paris and the other 2 campuses with the very old, either mid-age European city look, or the very nice Champagne area, like in Reims. It's the biggest or most famous Champagne field in the world. And so either city you choose based on the program, you will always benefit from the cultural or current local lifestyle. Not it's not all about Paris, but you can also enjoy Paris because some of our programs are there too. And then about some key facts. Well, I think we jumped to one. Okay. So here we'd like to show you, compared to other French business schools, where we are, what position we hold among all the others. There are different kind of ranking system, the European one or the global one. Maybe you know best the Financial Times ranking. It ranks business school, also our program. So we are number 8 in France. Both for our Master in Management program and also as a business school. Then the very new ranking by challenge, that's a French ranking system. We are number 6 as the best business school in France. So that's a very recent ranking. And then we have some specific ranking for our programs. I'd like to mention another ranking globally, which is called The Economist. Last year, we are ranked actually the number 19 globally for our 2-year master in management, and number 4 in France. So we are very proud of this. And then we have another ranking called EduUniversal. It ranks specific programs such as our MSc program. For example, the International Master in Luxury Management, which Junwook chose, is ranked number 4 worldwide. So that's a very popular one. Also for the one Marketing French Excellence that Tiffany studied in, is number 6 in France. So from those ranking, you can know what position or what how good we are among other business schools. It is a consideration, but we always say ranking is not the most important thing to choose the program. Then we can check some key facts. This might be boring, but very important to see what's the size of us. We have over 9,000 students. They come from different destinations or countries. And then we have 160 full-time professors, plus over 1,000 professional lecturers. So maybe you don't understand why we have such a big number of professional lecturers. They can be company managers or CEOs. They come to do our interviews sometimes or teach in some of our programs to share their expertise and real business practice experience. They also bring some maybe real company projects into our program. So this is a good source that we can use to learn a real business, not just from the textbooks, but from something real. I will let maybe Junwook and Tiffany to talk a little bit about this. For example, in your programs, do you have some of the external speakers or teachers to also teach in your program? Junwook, would you like to say something? Sorry, I see you are muted again. Maybe we can keep you on mute. Okay, we hear you now.
Yes, actually, you know, these programs, we have a partnership with like Tinge and Prada, and also many kind of luxury companies. So we host some guests from the company, and they gave us the lectures and the presentations. So we've had many opportunities to have like different kind of the presentations, and also so we visited many companies and with them. So we had many chances to encounter the real life expertise and also the professors.
Yeah. And I know another thing, like in your program in particular, the students, they really come from everywhere. Like in one small classroom, you have maybe, I don't know about your year, but normally we have like around 20 nationalities. That's
I believe we have 55 in the class, and also we are from like 29 countries, I think. Yeah.
Wow, that's even more this year with the diversity and the dynamic in the classroom, which is great. Yeah. And then I also know, like Tiffany, in your program, you also have some activities like, we will also mention this point after, like in the classroom about case study or projects you need to maybe practice. Maybe we talk a bit later about this part because we have a slide there. Just hold 1 minute, maybe. So here, we actually are talking about now from 3 parts. What makes us outstanding compared to other business schools? And we are going to talk from 3 aspects. The first one is about the teaching and learning experience we built and we made for each student that can benefit from our faculty, from their rich experience in academic and professional experience. And then also about the career service we offer to all the students from day one when they enter the program. We give them the training and idea to think about their future career. And then inside of the classroom, we try to combine all the interaction or activity to maximize the immersive or interactive experience. For example, we mentioned some activities like company visits, case study, or even virtual reality. As we can see in next slide, we use this new technology or tool in some of the programs, not all of them. So maybe about the concept or idea about learning by doing. Tiffany, do you have something to add? Sorry, the microphone. We can't hear you. We have to unmute you all the time. Can you? Yeah, okay, now we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe most of my professors in my program that taught the class, even in person and online after COVID-19 happened, they were all part of a established and well-known company prior to becoming a professor at NEOMA Business School. And I thought that was really cool because I rarely had the opportunity to be face-to-face and one-on-one with professors back in the US, unless I actually made the effort to make an appointment or set up a meeting. So it's really cool that a lot of professors will give you on the spot advice or even feedbacks on your projects right away. And that has always really been beneficial to me because I felt like being under pressure of working in front of everyone and presenting in a really limited amount of time, that has trained me to be a better person at presenting and knowing what key facts I should always include in my presentation so it doesn't lose track or get too boring for the viewers, you know. So I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, so I do hope our concept in this way, either learning by doing, or we try to make it like a edutainment to combine education and entertainment to reach your learning experience when you are studying with us. So this is the first part that we'd like to say we are doing really well compared to other schools. Then the second part, we are going to talk about the global network. There are three perspectives. One is about the size of the alumni network. Thanks to the long history, we have the fourth biggest alumni network in all French business schools. So they are separate in everywhere in the world. Either when you go back, for example, to Taiwan or in Korea, you can find the local alumni. We call them tribes, like associations, clubs. You can participate in their activities. And also, we have a lot of academic partners. There are universities everywhere. We have student exchange program or double degree program. They are the tops on each country, also accredited to maintain the same level like us. So we have those good academic programs with them. And then the third part is the company partners. You can see some of them here, but not all of them. For example, Prada in Imlux program, or Tétanger, the champagne company, and many, many others. So they are really good support to us in teaching and learning, and in support of our alumni graduates when they go for a real internship or full-time job. So those are three great networks. Here from the picture, you see some of the company partners like PwC, KPMG, the top consulting companies. They all work with us in some programs. And then we also invite the CEOs, like the one on the top, the CEO of L'Oreal. They came to give speech lectures on the campus to our students. You have chance to talk with them face to face. So those are all good examples to show our good network with the real business world. And then, like I said, when we talk about Alumni Network, they are separated really everywhere in the world. And those top 4 faces you see, they are our alumni who are awarded as the Global Business Leader under 14th among 200 in the whole world. So some of them, they are really doing well, and from the network of alumni, you can really connect with them. So hopefully you can also be part of them as a good honor of our school. And then the last part I'd like to mention is the entrepreneurship, the incubators we have on each one of the campus. Maybe the 2 of you, you are not really passionate about entrepreneurship to be young startup in the future, but just for you to know who have passion in this part, we are offering great help in this part to help them to develop their business ideas, business projects, or the business plan, so they can actually launch their company or projects when they are studying with us. For example, by ASSB, they have an honor or award to encourage business schools who are really doing well in this part. And we are the winner for 2 years in innovation and leadership. And we have another exchange project we will mention after called Entrepreneurs Across Border. We work with many other top universities like UC Berkeley in the US, to have students interested in startup to exchange there and do real projects there. So this is something we are really proud, and we are doing really well to help students. And also the graduates from NEOMA who actually launched their own business, the number is top 1 among all French business schools. Also, to give example in employment or the companies they are working at now, the top 4 biggest company, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, the employees of our NEOMA students, compared to all other French business schools, we are the number 4. So this shows that we really try to prepare our students for the future innovation and high technology, or try to support them as business startup. For example, the one who created a startup called the Fly Cup is one of our alumni who happened to have a picture with the president. So these are just some examples to show we are really good in this part. And then,
thank you. I think it's very, very convincing what you just presented, but we already have questions about how to pay. So I think we can jump to the program very quickly. So it's very interesting.
So here we comes to our program. We'll show you what programs we offer, and then we will give chance to talk about the program of Tiffany's and Jungwook's luxury program. As a beginning, maybe not relevant here today, but we are going to mention we have 2 4-year bachelor programs that enables our students to either do 1-year exchange, for example, in the global BBA, and then to study 2 years abroad in the CSAM exam to have 2 bachelor degrees from 13 countries they choose. So this is the bachelor level, if some of the future audience will be interested. And then we talk about our master programs. Will be 2 major sectors. One is the 2-year master in management, in which they can actually do it very flexible or very personalized based on their own choice or interest, either the campus or the teaching language. We have 2 tracks, and then they can choose their specialization in the 2nd year. For example, they can do a double degree with us in NEOMA among the 16 MSCs to get a 2nd master degree, or they even have chance to go abroad into our partner schools to have another master in another country in the 2nd year. We have partners in Europe, in America, like Argentina, Colombia, Mexico, or in Asia like Japan, China, etc. So that's a lot of choices for you based on your interest. And then also, if you don't want to do a double degree abroad in the first year, you can also do 1 semester exchange in over 100 international partners of us. And also, we mentioned about the Entrepreneur Without the Border projects, the exchange program, which is very new, that enables young startup to go to like the US to do a real startup program there. So this is like the big program that we offer, and to give you all the personalized choices. And then we will talk about our MSc. From here, you see we have many different programs, but we put them in 3 catalogs. One is the big finance and accounting catalog, and then we have marketing, which we will talk a bit more today, because we know for many Asian students, they are most interested in this part. And then in the general business and management, we have many other choices. For example, a very interesting one, like cultural and creative industries, to prepare those who'd like to go into the art industry or music or films. So that's a very the very specific one. And then we have this well-ranked one that Jungwook is studied in the international luxury management. So I will show maybe a bit more detail about this program, but also as a good example of how our 1 year or 15 months MSc is organized. As you can see, normally we have 3 stages, or we can call it semesters. The first semester is always about course studies, and that can be more fundamental in each MSc. The second semester to a more advanced or specialized level in your chosen area, either marketing or finance or supply chain. And then the final part is about internship or projects, because in some programs, for example, this luxury management, you can choose either to do internship or do a real business project with a real company. And so that will cover 15 months in general. In some programs, we have business partner, for example, in this one with Prada and Tet & Jacques. In some others, for example, the one Tiffany chose, we have Asmod fashion school in Paris, also a top one, well-known one. And for some others, we also have like a PwC or other companies as our key partner to offer you more experience in business. So maybe when we talk a little bit more about this international luxury management, some may confused about this one with some other marketing MSc. So I'd like to let Jungwook talk about what actually you have learned in this program. Is it a pure luxury, or is it a marketing program, or it's just a misunderstanding based on your own experience or study? Sorry, your mic. Can you unmute yourself?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to clarify some maybe mistakes our future candidates can avoid.
Yeah, basically, like he says, like it's a marketing program, but actually, during the whole semester, this program, covers like and not only just about marketing, but also the laws and accountings and supply chains and productions and the whole the image and concept of the luxury industry. And also for the first couple of months in house, you're gonna more focus on the luxury industry, as well as the champagne. And then from January to June, you're gonna be in the Milan, and also you're gonna have more chances to be exposed to the Italian ways, like Italian luxury industry. So at the end, you're gonna end up being an expert in both French and Italian luxury industry, and of course in general, like international basis. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important, I think. So we will not consider this one as a pure marketing program, or it's not only about fashion, because luxury can be in many industries like hospitality, hotels, or champagne, and many, many others. So it's not about fashion, just to clear the doubts. And then,
Yes.
yeah. And then I don't know if you had the trip in Paris in this program last semester, because that's like a highlight we have.
Yeah, we had a study trip in Paris for 2 weeks.
How was that?
Yeah, it was really cool because like everyone wanted to go to Paris, and also I was lucky because we had the group project with the company called the John Up, which is the part of Alumni, and we won the challenges. So we had a chance to visit the company, and which was never open to the public. So it was really a good experience. And also you're gonna have many presentation of the guests from the main luxury companies as well. And so it's really nice trip.
Yeah, so that's a really close connection with the industries and the good practice, I believe.
Yeah.
And then, great, we are going to see a little bit more about other marketing programs. And in this part, I know when you joined us, we don't have so many options, but I know you chose Marketing French Excellence. I'd like to let you share a bit why you chose this program.
So I chose this program was because I actually studied political science for my bachelor's degree. So I only had experience with marketing from 2 years of when I worked full time. But I actually wanted to find a program that will help me broaden my knowledge in every aspect, so I have a better idea of what I want to specifically go into later. So I would say that like our program actually got a new course called fashion marketing, I believe. This year it was a new course specifically added this year and onward now. But I thought that was really interesting because I was actually able to get an insight of like how fashion marketing works. But I would say for Marketing French Excellent is really good if you kind of have some sort of doubt in terms of what industry you want to get into. And this is definitely good for testing the water and seeing what you would enjoy and pick from there. And maybe go into what Jungwook's program would be if you're actually interested in luxury and fashion marketing. You can go into that more because that actually taught you more extensive stuff.
Exactly. So I know if your passion is in marketing, in pure marketing, but the very broad, the general marketing part, then Marketing French Excellence is good for you. And then I would like to give Xiaotong the talk to explain a bit more how other marketing programs differs from the other. Xiaotong, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you can see in the table that we have 5 programs in the sector of marketing, and they're all different. You can already basically see the difference based on the name actually. But with the keywords in the highlight we mentioned in the table, I think you can already have a tell, but I just want to help you. Sometimes students coming to us saying, I don't really have a clear idea what kind of program I want to choose. I think we may give some suggestion about the future career you want to make. When you decide to choose a program, maybe think further, think about what kind of job opportunity you want to orient yourself. So for example, for Marketing French Excellence, it's really a global program. It's very general program about the marketing. It use examples from global industries in which France excels to teach advanced marketing theory and techniques. The future career is in a variety of sectors as marketing manager, of course, consulting, event manager, sales and exports manager. It could be in the sector of industry, luxury, fashion, of a very large of choices. And for example, digital expertise for marketing. And you see already the keywords in the title of the program. So the future career is open to either data, web, digital analyst, web traffic analysis, also market research.
Yeah, so the keyword is like digital, social media.
Yeah, sorry,
if you are passionate about that, you also
I saw a message. Is such as community managers, product managers in the technology-driven industries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just forgot the luxury marketing. So luxury marketing, you can see already the keywords, luxury and marketing. So it's really concentrated in the sector. It aims to develop expertise and multicultural executives in luxury marketing. So
and that's the only one in Paris.
Yeah, it's the only one MSc in Paris. Is to let students get really the immersion of the Paris environment. Possible jobs you can aspire is, of course, marketing manager, but also fashion buyer, luxury store manager, merchandiser, brand manager, or public relation manager in luxury industry. Why not? If we go the first one, international marketing and the brand management, the future career opportunities could be the brand manager. Of course, you learn about brand management, and advertising manager, of course, trade marketer, consumer relationship manager. So when we talk about one program, of course, there's keywords on the title, but also it can open you a very large opportunity of choices, of possibilities. So the fifth one, wine and gastronomy, is a very new one, and it is very specific one. But of course, we are not telling you how to make wine and gastronomy.
Yeah. it's all about the food industry.
Yeah, it's all about the management and the industry. So you can aspire in the food or wine brand as, of course, marketing director or export manager or director of a wine house, journalist in food and wine. Why not? So we have very variety of choices. Yeah, I mean, I'll let you keep on.
Yeah, so we always suggest you to not just to look at the name of the program. You have to go deeper to look at the courses it offers in this program, and also maybe to combine your future career design, your plan. So the actual program you choose can serve you better to direct you to your desired future career. So that's
Sorry, Min, I think Zhongwu should leave us.
Yeah.
Just thank you for your sharing and goodbye for Zhongwu.
We know you have courses. Good luck for that. Bye. Thank you very much for joining us today. And yeah. Oh, sorry, you couldn't talk. Somehow we shouldn't unmute you all the time. Would you like to say a few words or suggestion to our future candidates?
Yeah, I was glad to be here and to share my personal experience with Tiffany, and I hope see you guys in the future. We can see as an alumni, and I hope it's going on well, and stay safe.
And we wish you all the best in your coming exams and thesis and a job or an internship.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Great. And Tiffany, if you're still available, you can stay with us for a bit. So we have talked about a lot about our programs, and now we are going to talk about the actual situation we are here now, because affected by the COVID-19 situation, we have to come up new solution to future students. As you can see now, we already decided to postpone our fall semester from September to October this year. So most MSCs we have will start from October the 5th. And for Bachelor and MIM, the 2-year master, currently we still stay with September, early September. But as you can see, we have other options for you. Here, I'd like to let Tiffany share a bit. Even if, for example, if our future students couldn't arrive in September or October, as you have experienced the online teaching, is that a good experience? And how do you think of that if it has to be the only option for our future students? Can you talk a bit about your online study experience?
So first of all, I would say when I was arriving at the school, I was actually expected to be arriving a little bit late. And all I had to do was actually contact the administrations, and they actually helped me figure out the latest date that I have to be arrived by. And then they actually let the teachers know prior hand that that I might arrive later. And I thought that was already really good in itself because of visa issues that I had to deal with, just in case. But when COVID happened and we moved to online space, NEOMA was the only business school that actually still continued functioning and working and offering its courses to its students when the whole thing first originally broke out in France. And I thought that was really good because that shows we're not, wasting our money as students. And the school is not just, the school is not just giving up on, trying to find an alternative way and providing the education that we paid for, and I thought that was really good. And my program specifically was actually chosen to be the one that ran the test week for all the other remaining programs. So while every other program had a week to rest from school, mine actually continued right away. So we did that for a week, and we gave suggestions to the administrations and told them what are certain things that can or cannot work with an online teaching. But definitely, if you plan to arrive later, I would say if you're in a different country and you have the time difference due to time zone and whatnot, is to really best check and double check the time that the classes will be run from, because as my classes tend to be for a full day of 3 hours and 3 hours, and that can get a little bit straining for someone that is located overseas. So I would definitely say it's great to use for a temporary and short-term time for maybe a supplement, as in terms of like you can't arrive to the start date, but I wouldn't recommend using that and kind of not actually be there in person, because the school is all about actually meeting your classmates and living the life in France and Rouen or like your city. It's all actually about the interaction about these things. So definitely take the online courses as a peace of mind, but it is definitely there for you. And I'm glad that NEOMA is offering this as a supplement now, and changing their guidelines for us because of this.
Yeah, it's not the best experience to study online, but alternatively, you have this option. As you can see here, we're offering 3 options for this year student. If you can still come, that's great. Come on the campus in October. But if you cannot, firstly, that's a very new update we didn't show anywhere yet. Only today we have this new announcement that you can choose to come in spring next year, in January. If you have worries, concerns to arrive this October, you can inform us and we can rearrange your intake from September, October to January. But we offer only to some programs, not all of them. As you can see in this table, for those listing here, you can change your intake or starting date to January. And in this option, you have 2 other choices. One is to continue your 15 months study from next January throughout next year. So you will do the internship not at the very end, but you can do it like midway in the summer for 4 months. So you will graduate the same time as if you enter this October. You will finish everything, the courses and the internship, by end of next year. So that's one option. And if you prefer staying longer, not to be stressed too much, you can stay half a year longer till the June of 2022. Then you still stay like a full 15 months with us, even if you join in January. That's good for a student who would prefer more time looking for internship after all the courses, not in the summer in between. So you can see the programs we offer this option in this table. And then for some other programs, mainly in a finance MSc, you always have the intake in January. But that intake will lead you to a 2-year MSc, mainly to get the CFA certificate or the FRM, Financial Risk Manager certificate. So if you join these 2 programs in January, you always study 2 full years with us. So that's about the spring intake. Then another option, if you wanna still start this October, but you couldn't arrive due to all the reasons you can imagine, then you can join us like Tiffany did, the online courses. We offer in all those listed programs, the online courses till the day you can actually arrive. That also includes in the first table, the red programs, plus those in the final column. So for all those programs, if you are enrolled in that one or you are applying for those, you can choose to do online courses. And then the final choice we offer is for you to defer your intake or enrollment till next September, next fall semester. We keep your enrollment for a whole year, so you can come when you feel safer next year. So those are the 3 options we are offering now under the COVID-19 situation. Hopefully that will assure you or your parents. And then finally,
yes,
in the very end.
Sorry, I just want to add that I will public in the chat box. If you have any question about the intake and the programs, I know the table is pretty complicated to understand in the short time. So you can just write to us. I'm just letting the email address, admissions NEOMA. You can write to us with your CV so that we can help you in the better way.
Then in the very end, Xiaotong, can you talk a bit about our current admission requirements and the procedures, and we will answer your questions.
Yeah, of course. So for our bachelor, I don't think today we'll have someone for bachelor, but I'll just go to shortly. We will need, of course, your high school diploma and English score for global BBA. And if you, of course, global BBA is 100% in English. And if you want to take the track in French, we will ask you also for your French level. For master, 2-year master, that means master in management, we will need you to have at least a 3-year bachelor background. And we are pretty open to your profile. For the 1-year MSc master program, we will ask you to have a 4-year bachelor in business with 0 to 6 months working experience, or if you can have a 3-year bachelor diploma, you should prove you have at least 3 years of working experience. So for programs taught 100% in English, we will ask for an English level equivalent IELTS 6.0. So you can see in the PowerPoint that the different exams we are taking. Of course, we know that now is pretty difficult to take any English examinations. So if you don't have any score, we can offer you one-time online English test, only acceptable for NEOMA Business School application, of course.
Yeah.
So
then if you are like Tiffany, who did her study fully in English in the US, no English score needed.
Yeah. Thank you to add that. Very important, yes. So other files we will need is your CV, is pretty motivation, but we don't really need a letter of motivation. You will have to answer some motivation questions on the online application system. Of course, 2 recommendation letters. If you only have 1, we can start with 1, and you can just give us the contact of your second reference person who want to write that. We can contact him later. And of course, transcripts and copy of diploma. If you don't get your diploma yet, you can just send us the enrollment certification.
And then finally, a quick view of our application procedure. Some of you already know. We are not going to talk more about it. I'd like to mention that the current admission deadline will be extended to August. Normally, it is end of June, but this year, under the COVID crisis, it is open till August 3rd. And then for the January intake we were talking about earlier, you can apply till end of October this year. So that's the very new option we offer. For any questions you have, just to drop us email on the button. And as a very special bonus for today's participants, if you haven't submitted your application, use this code webinar 2020 in our apply system, then you don't have to pay the application fee.
I'll just let it in the chat box. So it's webinar 2020, not Zoom 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll just add that. I already left in the chat box our email address, okay? And application address.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
For now, I think I already applied some. We don't have new questions. I just put the application waiver code. So don't forget to use it if you will finish very soon your application, okay?
Yeah. So if no new questions coming up, or if there's nothing we have missed during our presentation, I think it's a great experience today to have all of you, especially Tiffany and Jungwook, who already left. We really appreciate your sharing and your advice to our future students. And again, thank you everyone for joining us today to make it a great webinar. Tiffany, can you say something as the end?
Well, thank you guys for coming to the webinar firstly, and I would like to say I had the pleasure of going abroad multiple times already, and I think that's something that someone should always do. There's a lot of things that just be aware. If you do go to France, there is certain official documents that needs to be translated depending on what you're applying for. Like for the housing application, for the housing finance application, that one, depending on each country, they will require you to translate the documents into French or English, and that does have to get through a official channel of translation, not done by yourself. It has to have a stamp for it, and just make sure that if you have these type of questions, do email the school, and I believe that they would maybe possibly reach out to me as someone who has experience through it, and answer your questions for you. And I just hope that you guys end up picking NEOMA and actually try and experience the life of living abroad, and especially in France, because I think that it's definitely opened up my eyes to different cultural differences that I have brought along to myself and made it my own. And I think it will be great if you guys can experience that as well. So thank you guys for hosting this.
Thank you for the valuable advice, and thank you again everyone for joining us. Then Tiffany, wish you the best luck with your coming internship, and maybe you can come back for the graduation ceremony next year.
We will see you soon. Bye.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.